This meeting is being recorded.
Give it a minute more. Hi guys, hi Hugh, hi Christina. Hi Jesse.
Hello.
Okay, may as well get it started. Starting the meeting at 7:02, call to order. I'm gonna do the roll call, say if you're here, voice your name. Angie DeSanto,
I'm here.
John Kopek,
Here.
Paul Varga,
Here.
Jesse Burnham,
Here.
Garth Bean, Esther, okay, so we're gonna seat an alternate. Esther Jagodzinski, Hugh McKenzie,
Here. Here.
Christina Davis.
Here.
Okay, Christina, we're gonna seat you for Garth. Let's see. Okay, the first thing on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of March 31st, 2022. Do we have a motion?
I motion. Angie.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Do we have discussion? Anybody have any corrections or anything? Okay, we'll take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Sorry, I'm writing. Okay, second item on the agenda, number 4, is approved minutes of special meeting April 5th, 2022. Do I have a motion?
So move, Angie.
I'll second that, Paul Varga.
Any discussion? Nobody? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 I don't think I can vote because I wasn't seated for that, or at least not all of it, so I'll abstain.
Aye. So who do we have? We have myself, Paul, Angie, John Kopek. Jesse, did you say aye?
Aye.
Okay. 5 ayes and 1 abstain. Motion passes. Number 5, approve minutes of special meeting April 14th, 2022. We have a motion.
So moved.
Who was that?
It was me, Paul.
Thank you. Kind of caught it half blipped.
It's okay.
Yeah.
My allergies are killing me, so my voice is messed up.
Yeah, I think it's getting everybody. Do I have a second?
John, second.
Any discussion?
This is the only one that I noticed a correction. It says under guest, it says Tyche, Tyche. I don't know who or what that is, if that's an error or if that's what that is.
I think it's our IT guy.
Oh, what's his full
Yeah,
name?
I think it is. I think
If you
it's
look at the
he's on
screen,
tonight too. Yeah.
excuse me. If you look at the screen, you'll see his name.
I just see Tyche. What's his full name? Or is that just his name?
It's usually,
Hi, my name's John Guskowski. I'm the
There you go.
assistant, a technical assistant to the town.
Okay, so this should probably say your full name then, John.
I'm not a
Guskowski.
participant.
Okay,
He's
but
Christina, he's just recording, okay? And
No,
we're in a
no.
motion.
no, I'm just saying in the minutes that we're considering, it says the guest is Tyche
Not
as
a
the
guest.
host.
Yeah.
That's
We should
that's
probably-
not. Is that
You're
his
right.
name?
No, you're right. He shouldn't be concluded. John's right. We should just take it out of there.
Okay,
We'll just
then
remove
just
it.
remove.
That'll be, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't even catch that. Thank you.
Any other corrections? Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 aye,
Aye. Christina?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Okay. So number 6 is hearing from the public. We got 3-minute time limit. Is there anybody from the public who would like to speak? I don't even see anybody else on here besides us. Go figure. Okay, so thank you. Number 7, communications. I don't have any additional communications from anybody. Anybody have anything to share? Paul?
No, the only thing I got was the same question you got, and that's why we're having the meeting from Linda.
Yep.
So
Okay, so new business would be Mr. Folletti. Selectmen's update.
thank you, Mrs. Austin. Just a few things, I'll make it brief. I know you folks like to keep updated on things that are going on in town. So one of them, my predecessor had signed a contract with Train to upgrade our HVAC reporting system here at the town office building, and that has been completed. The highway foreman and I now have remote access to either setting or any readings that may go along. And it's already picked up a few things that we've got to get corrected, but that has been installed. I also had sent out notice last week to Otis, canceling our elevator contract with them. That's coming up the end of June on a renewal basis. Basically, we were very satisfied with the service that we were receiving for the elevator. This only pertains to the elevator at Knowlton Hall. And we are securing bids from other vendors at this time. we expect to do that either at the rate that we had with Otis or something better. As you're all probably aware, and I have the numbers in case you want me to reread them, all three questions passed at the referendum on Tuesday. Does everybody have those numbers, or does anybody like them to hear them, or?
I think we got those in our information that Paul was so nice to throw together while he was very busy.
Okay. Our new school bus has arrived and is being prepared. If it's not already, we'll expect to be on the road early next week. This is the school bus in the existing year's budget, not the one that we will be ordering, which we've already started the process. I may delay on that a little bit because if you'll recall, this bus under governmental services, we're proposing to be funded through our ARPA funding. Memorial Day commemoration, I had mentioned to you at several of your previous meetings that we were hoping to enhance the parade and sort of let the town do a party where we're getting everybody out and mingling and everything. We've chosen to cut back on that. We're going to do a celebration similar to what was done last year, a commemorative at the memorial, no parade. I guess one difference from last year, the Babcock Band has been practicing regularly and they're very anxious to play. So following the commemorative ceremonies, we're going to be setting up the gazebo there in Pompey Hollow Park with chairs, and the band will be playing for a short time there at the gazebo. And I would hope that you folks would join us or spread the word. Ashford Coraliers, I understand, are also going to participate in that. So one of the things that I am in the process of putting together, and I'm open for people that would like to join in the planning, whatever, is a 4th of July weekend parade. And we're talking again about different festivities. I'm hoping that week to do an open house. I haven't confirmed everything else, but with our highway department, hopefully with our fire department, with the library and everything that weekend, just to get people back and functioning. The only thing that could be an issue with that, and one of the reasons we've downsized with the commemorative celebrations, is we're presently experiencing a bit of a surge with our COVID numbers, both here and at the school. I get weekly reports from our local health department and also from the state and the CDC. Connecticut and our area is still in the best rating that we could be. Luckily, hospitalizations are nowhere near what they've been in the past. While there've been some minimum increases, it's been minimal, and thank the Lord there's been no more deaths. So we're just keeping our fingers crossed that this will be the last of this and that the light's at the end of the tunnel, but that's why we cut back. We just finished negotiations with ASME, our union here at the Town Hall and Public Works Department. We settled on a one-year contract that was particularly driven by the economic situation that our town and the state and the country, of course, is facing, with a 2.5% increase. That was what the final negotiation was. And last but not least is some good news. I had a meeting with our tax collector earlier in the week, Linda, and our goal in our last year's budget was a collection rate for property taxes, real estate, of 98%. We are now at 98.75%. And that equates to approximately $160,000 above what we were anticipating in revenue. So as usual, Linda's done a yeoman's job with that. And on behalf of the town, and anytime I get an opportunity, I try to extend our appreciation for diligence and hard work with the tax office. That's about all I have.
I have something. Bill, I have something about 74 and 44. The
Yeah.
accidents that keep happening. Car accidents.
Is that a question?
Well, are you guys doing anything about it, or is it the state, or?
We have a meeting coming up with DOT. When I first took office, I was contacted by them to ask me my 3 priorities. And my first priority was installation of a stoplight at 44 and 74. Lowering of the speed limit here in the center of town. And also trying to repair the crosswalk between Pompey Hollow Park and where the Cumberland and Knowlton Hall is. And we are working on that. A 4th priority has been putting in speed limit signs, actually solar signs that will show the speed, and also ask people to be extra cautious at the school areas. We have just got an acknowledgement we had to put in for special permitting from DOT over at the school. And we're told that they've listed that, and that's in the process also. Also found out, Angie, that, you know, we've got a number of complaints about speeding on local roads. And I've been trying to haunt the state police with that, and was informed that they don't have jurisdiction because many, if not most of our local town roads don't have speed limit signs. So we've gone ahead and ordered those. Our highway department does have some in already, and they're starting to put them in to sign to roads that we've got complaints on, but I expect that's going to be a priority for us to get those up and to try to get control of those.
Thanks, Bill.
Okay, Angie.
So Bill, perhaps you should go over those numbers, because I don't know, like, if the additional funding was part of what I received that the town has taken in.
Oh, the
'Cause I
collection
only
rate
saw
on real,
98.
the collection rate on real estate is now at 98.75. That was as of Wednesday early afternoon. And I'm advised that that equates to about an additional $160,000 of unanticipated revenue.
Is that on top of, so what we received, it says 98% expected to be collected. Is that on top of the 358,377,273?
Is that figure you just mentioned what was projected for income in this fiscal year?
So the net collectible grand list that we had on our information for tonight said that the net adjustment taxable grand list is 98% expected to be collected. And then it has 358,377,273.
My understanding, Judy, is that that does not include that 160 that I just mentioned to you.
Okay. I just wanted to make that clear.
Yeah, that number that you have, Judy, is the projected. She always uses 98%. So that
Okay.
those additional funds would show up at the end of this fiscal year when we make adjustments. So
Yep.
that will basically be what, like, we move money into the capital non-recurring or into the, or we left it in the not undesignated fund balance. That's what
Right.
that'll be at the end of the year. Yeah, they don't use it for projection because she can't, it's hard enough guaranteeing 98%. That's a pretty good collection rate. So
Well, I just wanted to make sure that we have a clear view of what's going on here.
Yeah.
For increase of funding. Christina?
I'm not sure if, it sounds like you got some documentation with numbers. I didn't receive anything. Is there an email that went out in addition to the one that had the agendas and the minutes? Maybe I missed it.
I thought it was included in the group.
I'll resend that one document. Hang on. Maybe
Thank
it didn't
you.
get included to everybody. While
Sorry,
I'm clicking
Paul, I
away,
only-
just for Christina's benefit. It's just, it's the mill rate calculation for how we come up with the mill rate tonight. If my computer will let me do it.
It was part of the calculation also in projected revenue in last year's budget. Christina?
Yeah, I get it. I just want to make sure I'm looking at the same numbers as everybody else. This is where being in the same room and we could just hand each other a piece of paper would be helpful.
Nice, right?
Hopefully in
Yeah.
the near future.
I agree.
It also would be good if the computer would actually work.
If anybody else has it, they could just forward it to me.
So how about the mill rate on that, Paul? Do we need to verify that with, Bill for what was calculated? Is that also true?
Well, that number should be accurate for what passed on Tuesday.
The 32.265?
Yeah, that's based on everything that Cheryl knew as of, that came out, I think that came out yesterday, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, if we have, collections, if,
Yeah, but I mean, there's no way to guarantee that Linda can do that again.
Paul, I don't recall getting anything. Who did that come out from?
That came from Cheryl.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay, so all our
Who I was
numbers,
hoping would be on the meeting because then we can make sure that that number has to be super accurate, but he has that
exactly.
down. I'm waiting for my computer to catch up and I'll send it out to everybody.
Uh-oh.
Paul, I'm looking at my emails from yesterday from her. Well,
You didn't get it?
and I don't see it. So if you could
Okay.
include me.
Yep,
if you're
I
gonna
sure will.
send that.
So the numbers that we have on in our citizens is the exact numbers. Nothing's changed for what people voted on.
Correct. Oh, come
Okay.
on. Can you do me a favor? You grab my iPad out of my briefcase in the hall.
Do you have it on your computer, Paul? Because you could share your screen and then we could just all see it.
That would be great, except it won't let me open it on my computer. I just sent it to
Oh.
everybody. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to get it open and it wouldn't let me do it. Yeah, I don't know. It keeps telling me to close out of Windows, and if I do that, I'll lose the whole meeting.
Okay,
It should show up. I just sent it off my iPad, so
I got it.
give it. So it's just a sheet that just shows the 3 approved budgets, then the revenues expected from the state and town. Then it just gives a breakdown of how much you have to raise in taxes, which calculates the mill rate.
We all good? Okay. So we're setting the mill rate for 2022-2023 fiscal year at 32.265. I think I
Bill?
have to, huh?
Yeah, before I make a motion, I have a question for Bill. I called Cheryl yesterday. Do you know what the state capped the motor vehicle mill rate at?
No, I was actually been waiting for a verification from CCM. I understand they voted on it, but I didn't get a confirmation of the rate. It's pretty close to what we have. And what I was inquiring was when I heard they were bringing it to a vote, I was asking what impact that may have, either plus or minus, on our funding reimbursements. And I was told that we were going to remain neutral.
Okay.
So if it goes up a little higher, Bill, then we'd be in trouble, right? Because we can't exceed the, whatever the, I don't have the numbers in my head right now, but we were kind of like on the borderline.
Oh, you mean when it comes to the motor vehicle adjustments?
Yeah, yeah.
We
were
were
just
right there.
slightly under.
We were right there within decimal points.
Yeah.
What they were projecting. Originally, they were projecting, I think, 32 mils, but it came down considerably from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cheryl told me that we weren't going to exceed it when I called her. So I don't know what that. I mean, the worst case, we come back and it's actually going to be on poor Linda, because she's going to be the one who has to make the adjustment. My understanding was in that bill for the first year anyway, the state was going to reimburse any lost revenue. So
That's correct.
it won't be an impact this year. It'll be in future years where there may be an impact.
I also heard some scuttlebutt that the state's gonna be sending more funding to the town.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
So I have details about the
Christina.
cap.
Christina, excuse me. You wait.
I've
until
had my
somebody
hand
calls-
up for like a minute.
Yeah, well, you wait until somebody acknowledges you because the rest of us are talking. Okay, you don't interrupt. Everybody done?
I'm
Christina.
done.
So I was interested in this, and so I looked it up. I have an article from the Connecticut Mirror. It says the budget would lower the cap on municipal taxes on non-commercial passenger vehicles from 45 mils to 32.46. So we are just under that. So I don't think that would impact us at all.
Just to reiterate, Judy, that's also what I'm hearing. That there's not gonna be, I mean, I had heard that we may realize a couple of weeks ago, anywhere from 145,000 to over $300,000. And then that quickly changed when the true figures started coming out.
Okay. Okay, so anything else before we set the mill rate? Okay, I guess we have to have a motion on that. Motion to set the mill rate for 2022, 2023 fiscal year at 32.265.
Angie DeSanto. Yeah, give it, what is it called? I'll do that
Motion.
one.
The mill rate.
Close enough.
There you go.
We know what you
Right.
meant, Angie.
Do I have a second? Is there a second?
I'll second it.
We'll let Christina have it.
Discussion. No discussion. Okay, all those in favor? Oh, before I do that, Bill, I don't have to do the exact figures this time. I just have to do the mill rate, right?
I believe so. You might want to let the motion indicate based on figures and calculations from the town's finance department. I think that would be safe.
So
Okay,
if you want, when, and Vale's on here too, if Angie and Christina are okay, we can make the motion read to set the mill rate at 32.265 to raise $11,563,219 from taxes. Adopted at referendum on May 3rd, 2022. Is that okay with you, Angie?
Absolutely.
Okay. Did you get all that, Valerie?
thanks, Paul. So we have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Grr.
Who was the sure? All right, people have spoken. Aye. Passed unanimously. Okay. Agenda for the next meeting.
Yeah, we're supposed to, we have a meeting on the schedule for a week from today. I'll check with Linda. I don't know if she was ready to do the Cato Rock thing yet. And then if you want, I can talk with Cheryl and see if we can get current expenditures and revenues. Even with Bill's good news, we might actually have a smile on our face for that one.
We all need that.
There you go.
Okay, and then we'll just add if we find that there's something in the interim that comes up. Okay. The remarks for the good of the board.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead, Christina.
Just for for agenda items, I don't know if this would be the next meeting or when it would be appropriate, but is there any type of process where we can talk about how this budget process went and how we can improve upon it for next year? And, now that it's fresh in our minds, is there any type of regular process that we go through to look at that?
Well, we do it all year. And there's certainly time that we can do that. I have no problem with that. I think it'd be a good idea because people seem to be a little confused as to what happened. So perhaps we can discuss, further, like with this budget that we currently did. It seems to me not all members understood a lot of the process. So I think we have to do a better job at that.
Yeah, Judy, I know you and I have talked as we've gone through some of the old agendas and stuff, that one thing that seems to be lacking is as new board members come in or the board changes, the process of how this all gets done doesn't seem to be documented very well. So I don't know, I can only speak for myself, but when I started putting together things like the calendar and all these agendas and things, I've gone back through the years to try to match up so that we can see when things should be done. And hopefully before the next budget process comes around, I'll have a notebook of some sort that has a little bit of a guide for us as we go forward, so that I know to tell Judy that at the next meeting, we need to be thinking about this, or in the next 2 meetings, we need to be doing about that.
Yes, I'll be,
Yeah.
getting a better handle on it too.
The
This-
unfortunate part is we can't all just get together over a cup of coffee because we have to have it as a meeting.
Exactly.
It'd be nice if we could, but so I actually think it's a good idea. Maybe in the next few weeks, we can do that at one of our meetings, just have a discussion.
Yeah, because one of the things that really bothered me with this budget process was, I keep remembering this lady that she was so emotional, for the school because she thought she was losing her job. And some of the board members really didn't understand that last year they had us $174,000 excess left. And they also had more in the budget that was moving around to different buckets. So there wasn't really this panic at 4.1 that they were going to lose people. And people need to understand what to look at the audits, look at the paperwork that comes out. I put it in the referendum notes. What were the increases? There were no deductions. And we can't go online stating opinions without clearly understanding what's going on. So I think that we really do need to have a learning session on how to approach these situations and discuss it amongst ourselves. But I think you guys did a real good job for, some of you for the first year. The only thing that I would say for the future is go through the chair. We can't go to different departments bothering them for things. That has to be scheduled and organized because it's very stressful for people to be going through this process all at once. So maybe we can just smooth it out a little better as we go as a team. And that's all up, Bill?
Yeah, I agree with all of that, Judy. What's been in the back of my mind is perhaps it would be healthy for all of us to try to put together a working group, perhaps, represented by the Board of Finance, the Board of Selectmen, our finance unit, and just reevaluating the entire process. I think that would be helpful for newcomers, but it would also be helpful for all of us because obviously I think there's room for improvement there. I'm proud of the fact that this is the first time in a number of years that we've been able to meet the same schedule that E.O. Smith by statute has to meet with their referendum. It got to be a bit of a habit here that we just would assume that we couldn't put a budget together at the same time and bring it into one referendum with E.O. Smith. And, you know, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, each referendum ran us about $2,000, a little less. Well, the number now for a referendum, I'm advised, is $3,000 or more dollars. So I think everybody that worked hard to work with the same timeline that E.O. Smith was on should be applauded, and it's appreciated. But
I agree with you, Bill. The
Yeah.
only thing I would say to that was, having a new board that it was very chaotic, and the communication wasn't clear. Like the school board meeting before the referendum, it was said that we didn't need information that night. We didn't have all the information we needed for the hearing. And we tried to accommodate the best we could. And, obviously we didn't have the information from the school until late. So I'm hoping that we can get a little bit more organized and have this information prior to, so it's not so crazy. The other thing I suggested too is that we have I suggested to Craig that we have a couple members on the board for the contracts. It would be either myself or I recommended John. So he's going to let us know. And I also asked him if we could have a selectman and, make it a group for going through the contracts with the school. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, I know when they hired Craig initially, and I've taken a brief look at some of the goals, but part of the goals was by mutual agreement and concern was better communication between the town end of it and the Board of Ed. And I applaud Craig because I think he's made efforts to do that. There's obviously room for improvement, but I think that the more interaction we can have and the more communication between our boards, the better off we are. I just think that's healthy. I mean, one of the things that I've started to do even before Tuesday and is to try to look at what portions of the whole process could we do, looking at perhaps a 2 or 3 year plan. Obviously with the state and how unsure they are from year to year, and we get last minute information on revenues, it's difficult to have everything planned out. But I think we're to a point, and I believe that the school administration is leaning that way, is to do long-term projections. And I think that will be a lot more helpful than what we've done in the past. I mean, I've been attending just about all of the Board of Ed meetings. In fact, after this meeting, I'm going to go down there and get in on wherever I can on their meeting tonight. But what I've heard is salary levels down there, if they remain the same next year, we're probably, just if everything else stays status quo, looking at a 9 or 10% increase. And frankly, that's unsustainable for the town. So
well, that's what I was thinking this year. I mean, if we're just saying that we're doing raises, benefits, and hiring one more teacher, that's that's additional funds, and it's almost with the 174 added to the 300 and something. That's almost $500,000 right there. And we're saying that this is just to sustain what we have. So I give kudos to Greg. He's new. Let's see what he can do.
I agree. And we, and again, I think the key is cooperation. And I think that's a goal for all of us in communication. And I would certainly support trying to put together a collective working committee made up of members of the Board of Ed, perhaps Craig, if he wanted, Board of Finance, Board of Selectmen, just to kind of brainstorm and see how that whole process could be improved.
Yep.
I think that's a great idea.
Having said that, I just have one more thing that I'm gonna run. You know, I know how seriously you folks take your responsibilities. And I want you to know as first selectman and also as a long-term resident of this town, I really appreciate it. I think people lose the fact that you folks are volunteers and the many hours that you put, particularly during budget time, away from your families, your jobs, and your other obligations. Some of us take a little too lightly. And I just want to let you know that us folks down here at the town office building and that recognize the work you do, and we really sincerely appreciate it.
We appreciate you guys too, and Cheryl's been phenomenal. Linda's awesome. I mean, the whole group has been really good in supporting me and Paul with any information that we've needed to get this going, or questions, or, you know, everybody's been working really well there with us. So we couldn't ask for better, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Very good. Folks, I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna run north. So you guys have a good night, and I'll see you down the road.
Thanks, Bill.
Night.
Good night. So thank you guys on the board. I know, I know it's been a rough ride. We'll get better. Slowly but surely. So Angie, your favorite
Here we
part
are.
of the night.
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second? Do I have a second?
John, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Have a good night, folks.